Welcome to Rauta's very first Steelfest 2025 preview with the first a couple of dozens bands, more than a couple of dozens actually, closer to 30, whatever I was counting, and some of the bands haven't even been announced yet. Even some of the names are missing from the list. You might already seen some of the updates online, Facebook or Steelfest official page. But in case you missed it about an hour before this one, now here, let's go. Before showing you the list, obviously, the thing is, Steelfest is taking place in the middle of May 2025, as always, which is pretty nice in terms of weather and all. And this is how the page looks now. Well, at the moment I'm filming this a day before it actually gets out. By the time you're checking it out, it already has some bands mentioned there and all that stuff. Running order and particular information regarding what bands are playing which days and whatever probably will be updated later on, as well as some of the so-called bigger names that you might be willing to see. But let's start. And by the way, this info, I've done it just old school way, just copied under the Word because I'm working with a very thin timeline here. Didn't have time to set up cool visuals or logos, and then again, who really gives a fuck? We're here about the bands, not some fancy visuals and all that stuff. So a lot of things here have quite a big impact, or quite a big lineup coming from Finland. So lots of Finnish black metal, especially those great news who are coming from, you know, outside Finland. Then again, we are also, I say we, as you know, the people, the audience. There are also quite a bit of interesting bands coming from various parts of the world. So if you're Finnish people coming to the festival and you're like, okay, but I've seen those Finnish bands so many times. Well, good news. We have also some of the finest bands, some of the finest underground names from various parts of the world to cater to your needs. Now, of course, some people are saying, okay, but this is not about, you know, certain genres or certain bands that are not coming here and there and blah blah blah, the lineup is this and that. Well, whatever it is, this is not your mainstream festival, and this is not definitely your let's recycle the same bands all over again like some festivals tend to do. No offense, but I would rather see more of these rare bands you don't see every day rather than those familiar, somewhat bigger names which are not exactly mainstream Iron Maidens and Metallicas, but quite often the big names from black metal and all, which you have seen so many times. Anyway, that's for the intro. Let's start going from the list up, from up to down. And there's no particular order like which bands are bigger or whatever. I'll just cut this list in this order. And these quotes you might see here are coming from the promoter himself. So first you have Flame, underground Finnish black metal, which is not unfamiliar guest in Finnish things. Same goes with Lantern. So once again, those names which are not very big, but always keeping the underground flame indeed burning. Vulcan Grid is one of the first names I really don't know. I haven't even heard it, so something new for me as well. Can't really comment much beyond that. Trollheim's Grot is one of those names that features quite a few Finnish black metal underground names. So an old band which made a comeback, did good albums also, and features some of the veterans from the genre. I'm really happy to see them again after so many years of absence, so definitely stoked to see what these guys are up to. Many people know it because, you know, it features the vocalist and drummer from Horna, the brothers. So it will be interesting. Curse Upon a Prayer has been growing steadily, making their strong, unique Finnish black metal. Recently released a new album also. Powerful visually, and I've been told it's a really good live band too, so definitely interested to see that as well. Then we have a very rare name here, Narmadaron, that was supposed to play in Finland already, quite a few names, and then some Christian people actually managed to tackle it down, not making it happen. Tells a lot how much Christian people still have power here, even if some people say, oh, they're not, you know, meaningful anything at all, but yes, they do still have some political power. So it will be interesting to see these guys for the first time ever. Then Earn, which just this fall are doing their 30th anniversary stuff here, so probably celebrating it next year as well. Interesting to see how they are doing, especially there's a new album coming out, so probably playing newer material as well. Then some of the rarer type is Vulturium first live performance, and everybody who knows the band knows that it's ex-War Moon Lord vocalist's own band. That was already supposed to happen earlier at Steelfest, but sometimes life gets into way and whatever reasons had to cancel their performance. Now they are doing it. Let's hope, let's keep our thumbs up for that. Also, what is interesting to see is Nigel Dreyfus, a Finnish black metal band featuring, once again, much like Trollheimskrot, a Finnish veteran from the black metal scene, are doing their very first gig. These guys, also featuring members from Horna and the like, are frequent visitors to the festival, so we can count on the quality with this band as well. They released already a good album already in 2024, so it will be interesting to see it. Another one that debuted in 2024 is Hellwind/Fritran collaboration gig, and this is exclusive to Steelfest 2025. It's interesting because these guys released a kind of collaboration, I wouldn't call it split album, a collaboration, or is it EP technically speaking, earlier this year, which I was handed at Steelfest 2024 and resulted in good stuff. A lot of people obviously know Fritran from the White Death band, you know, being the vocalist and the face of the band, whereas Hellwind himself has been part of, you know, Sargeist or Sacrilegious Impalement and various other bands through the years. So once again, two veteran guys from the Finnish black metal scene doing their own collaboration gig. I'm stoked for that. Of course, I'm stoked about Nightside because I'm the vocalist of the band and we're gonna perform first time ever at Steelfest. We did a gig at Steel Chaos last year and it was fantastic. I mean, I do love both festivals and I like being there, so of course it's a big thing for us to play stuff there. Can't really say what we're gonna play, but if it's up to me, we're gonna play some new stuff there as well. I'm talking about unreleased stuff, but a few months away, so too early to predict anything beyond that. Some really unseen name is Biological Warfare from South Korea, and it says Werewolf and Drums. What can we expect but grind? To be honest, I haven't heard this band, so I don't know what to expect, but I think it's gonna be interesting because, you know, it's not as something that you see in Europe every year. Korkondrus, another veteran black metal name from Finland. Everybody probably knows it. This is curious enough something that we have played with Nightside already quite a few times. Good guys, good music, so definitely up for that. Severoth was introduced me as a good ambient act, so for ambient and women audience, whatever it means. I don't know if it's a real selling point, but keep your eyes peeled for that. Personally, I haven't heard it, so I really can't comment it. Arkona is another classic band from Poland, long career, making strong black metal, and not too frequent visitor on Finnish soil, so it will be interesting to see how they turn out at Steelfest. And Massacre, true legends from the Colombian scene. This is old school, and I've made this note very rare to see in Europe because that's indeed what's the game. So it will be interesting to see some real old school names which are older. I mean, the band is older enough than most of the audience. And another page 2, Old Tower from Netherlands, #1 in Dungeons, and I was told I'm not much into Dungeons since myself, but it's always cool to see something else than yet another black metal band, so a little bit of variety. Morok is a Ukrainian band I haven't heard, but I've been told it's real good, so once again, something new for me. Then we have Imprecation from USA, which have their own exclusive gig in Northern Europe in 2025. So, something to peel your eyes for also. Baksaksa is returning to Finnish soil after so many years. They played at Steel Chaos many years ago, and they have done a couple of good albums too. So, strong underground German black metal. Stay tuned for that. Deus Mortem, which also performed nicely at Turku Saatamaalla in 2024, are now coming to Steelfest, which is interesting because a lot of people really like this band, and I gotta say they did well in Turku, so definitely stoked for that. Sargeist is a band that should not need to be introduced. Once again, Finnish black metal veterans doing their black metal, so something that not too common to see outside Finland, not too often anyway, so always cool to see that as well. Personally, one of my most anticipated band comes from Norway, Hordem Reif. I have seen this band a couple of times lately in Bergen this August 2024, and they were one of the best ones. Really strong Norwegian black metal band, one of my favorite these days coming from Norway. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Then we have War Moon Lord, a new school all Finnish black metal or new wave, the traditional style in the 90s way, but of course a newer band. And they have new album coming before the fest, so we might see something else that is typical there. Then True Werewolf is playing exclusive Steelfest 2025 set with Death Music Symphony, meaning no album songs. You don't really know what to expect. It's your favorite guy from Satan and Warmaster doing the side project of all that stuff, and it's different than, you know, what it usually does. Then we have a rare name from France, Osculum Infame, with exclusive Steelfest 25 set with Vlad Dracul, the original vocalist, as guest artist. Will be interesting to see this one because I have never seen it before. Obviously, I know the band by, you know, music to a certain degree, but never seen them live. Then Zemial from Greece, one of those oldest names in the black metal scene. I mean, they started already 80s, on the verge of 80s, 90s, so way before a lot of Norwegian bands even existed. Zemial has always been doing a very steady style with their black metal, and I've seen them live playing with Absu, vocalist, Proscriptor, 2019, and it was fierce set, and yeah, I'm stoked to see that band as again. Which also brings us one of the best, maybe the jewel of the whole list here, Absu from United States, featuring Zemial member here, which you probably guessed already because these guys, Proscriptor and Warscott from Zemial, they've been pen pals for like 30 years or more, and they've been doing collaboration previous, like I mentioned, the 2019 set, where I actually got to interview these both gentlemen, the Proscriptor from Absu and Warscott from Zemial, and like I said, they played a fine set. I've seen Absu play live in Finland more than 10 years ago, and mind-blowingly good. So it will be interesting to see now they are playing the Son of Tipperary 30th anniversary set. Some say it's the best Absu album, maybe not for me. I'm more like a Tara guy, but definitely some interesting era from Absu years, and always going back to these special sets are something I personally feel very much connected to because they are rare and few, and they are more consistent than, you know, just average festival set list. So I don't know about you, even this is missing some of the so-called bigger names, whatever bigger names means for everybody. And there's not, let's be honest about it, much death metal, thrash metal or beyond, but personally I find this steady lineup very, very interesting. I mean, there are bands which I can safely skip because I've seen some of the bands probably too many times for my own need, but basically what I'm seeing, the whole list of here of the bands, I'm like, yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happening on stages, outside or inside. So personally, I'm already like, yeah, I'm going. Of course, I'm going there because with my own band, but I mean, even without it, color me interested. It will be interesting to see whenever the bigger bands are being announced and added to the pool. Now, if you're already going to Steelfest, start figuring out your hotels and flights, because the earlier you book, the better chances it is for you to, you know, get the hotel you prefer. And of course, the flight prices are usually a little bit less. And those who want to wait for some bigger names, you do what you do. I won't be recapping here all the information like how to get to Steelfest, how to get to Hyvinkää, how to get to Finland and all that stuff because, you know, that information is already with my other videos. But we'll get back to that closer to 2025 Steelfest when I'm updating the lineup with another preview video. Now off you go, start pondering which bands you want to see and book your flights, book your hotels. Talk to your friends who might be accompanying you for this fest. Now, looking forward to see you right there at Steelfest 2025. Off you go. Bye-bye.